Our Gracie Aunt by Jaqueline Woodson. Illustrated by John J. Muth. When the lady came that night, Bebe was in the kitchen making sandwiches. The lady said, "My name is Miss Roy. I want to talk to your mama." "Don't open the door, Johnson," Bebe said. So I didn't. When Miss Roy came the next morning, we were both asleep on the couch. "You have to open the door," she said. "Not for strangers, we don't," Bebe said back. "Where's your mama?" Miss Roy wanted to know. Bebe got real quiet. After a while, she said, "She went someplace." "How long has she been gone?" I counted the days on my fingers. "Since a few minutes ago," Bebe said. "Well, I'll be back this afternoon," Miss Roy said. "And if your mama's not home, I'll have to take you with me. It's not safe to leave little kids alone." "I'm not a little kid," Bebe said. But Miss Roy's nice shoes were already click-clacking down the hall. "You think Mama's ever coming home, Bee?" Bebe frowned. "She always did before, right? Sometimes my mama went away for a day. Sometimes for a lot of days. That's just how it was with our mama." "You know where Miss Roy wants to take us?" Bebe said. "Foster care. It's when you live with somebody that's not your mama." "They have toys in foster care, Bebe?" Bebe looked kind of sad. "Sometimes." When Miss Roy came in the afternoon, Bebe finally opened the door. Miss Roy was tall like Mama. "You must be Bernadette," she said to Bebe. "Everybody calls me Bebe, though." "Bebe," Miss Roy said. "I like that. And you must be Johnson." I was hiding behind the couch, but I stuck my head out and nodded. "I don't have another name," I said. Miss Roy smiled. She had a pretty smile, Miss Roy did. "How come you already know our names?" Bebe asked. She gave Miss Roy one of her looks. Bebe had all kinds of looks she could give people. "A neighbor called and said that you had been alone a while," Miss Roy said. "My job is to make sure little kids get taken care of." "I'm not a little kid," Bebe said. I didn't say anything. It seemed like a nice job, the one Miss Roy had. Miss Roy helped Bebe put some stuff in a bag for us. Even though I told her not to, she brought Bluey. "I'm too big for that," I said. "Let's take it anyways." Bebe was trying to sound like a grown-up, showing off for Miss Roy. "What about when Mama comes and we're not here?" I asked. "What if she can't find us?" "I'll leave her a note." Miss Roy had one already written up. She put it on the table under the salt shaker. When we walked outside, Miss Clyde from across the street said, "Y'all be good, you hear?" Miss Clyde always kept an eye on us. Sometimes she brought food over. "I'm hungry," I whispered to Bebe. She gave me one of her mean looks. Miss Roy had a shiny white car. She made both of us sit in the back with the seatbelts on. "I was able to get in touch with your Aunt Gracie," Miss Roy said. Bebe just shrugged and stared out the window. But I looked right at Miss Roy and I asked her who this Gracie Aunt was. "Mama's sister." Bebe's voice was real quiet. "How do you know about her?" she asked Miss Roy. "I talked to some neighbors," Miss Roy said. "I did some searching and I found her on the other side of town." "Mama doesn't like Aunt Gracie," Bebe said. I folded my arms and frowned. "How do you know her?" "You know her too, Johnson. You probably just don't remember, 'cause you were real small the last time we saw her." "Your Aunt Gracie is a good person," Miss Roy said. "I know she'll take care of you." "My mama can take care of us," Bebe said. She stuck out her bottom lip. We all got real quiet. After a while, Miss Roy stopped at a restaurant. Can I have anything I want? I asked. Miss Roy nodded and touched my head. Her hand felt nice there. Our mama knows where our Gracie Aunt lives? Miss Roy nodded again. So she'll be able to come get us when she gets home, right? Miss Roy said. We'll see. Miss Roy drove us to a big house near the river. A woman came out, drying her hands on her jeans. She stood on the porch looking at us and shaking her head like she couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it either. There was a tire on a rope hanging from a tree and one of those red cars you can get in and pedal. And pretty flowers everywhere. You don't even miss Mama, Bibi said. She was mad because I was looking at all of our Gracie Aunt stuff. Do too. And I did. Way deep down inside. Our Gracie Aunt hugged me and Bibi. I hugged her back because I liked the way she smelled, like something sweet cooking on the stove. But Bibi stayed stiff. I have some cookies baking with your names on them, our Gracie Aunt said. Then Bibi smiled. It was a little tiny smile, but I saw it. That night, our Gracie Aunt said, I want to tuck you in. What's a tuck in? Our Gracie Aunt pulled the covers tight around me and made sure my head felt good on the pillow. That's a tuck in, she whispered, kissing my forehead. I like tuck in. Bibi needs a tuck in too. No, I don't, Bibi said. Then she turned her head towards the wall and didn't say anything else. Our Gracie Aunt sat at the edge of my bed and sang a song about birds watching over us. It was a pretty song. Bibi turned her head a little, and she was listening too. The next morning, Bibi asked, How come you never came to see us if you're our aunt? You know how you and Johnson argue sometimes? Well, me and your mama did too, our Gracie Aunt said. We stopped speaking to each other a long time ago. I don't even remember what we were arguing about. Then, me and your mama just lost touch. But how come you didn't get back in touch? Bibi asked. After a long time, our Gracie Aunt said, You all moved a couple of times, and I didn't know where you were anymore. I even tried to call you. We don't have a phone, I said. I know, our Gracie Aunt said. Bibi rolled her eyes up to the ceiling. People all the time making excuses about going away. Just because a person goes away, our Gracie Aunt says, doesn't mean they don't love you. What does it mean then? Bibi asked. It just means they'll be back, I wanted to yell. I wish I knew, our Gracie Aunt said. What did you love about Mama? Bibi whispered. She was a good big sister. When we were little, I loved everything about her. And Bibi said, Me too. And I said, Me too. Sometimes our Gracie Aunt let us help her cook. She let us throw spaghetti against the wall. If it stuck, it was done. And Saturday nights she made popcorn and let us watch scary movies with her. When the vegetables were ready, we'd pick them from the garden. And when I cried about missing Mama, our Gracie Aunt gave me Bluey to hold. It's good to cry, she'd say. Crying washes you out inside. Some days, me and Bibi sat crying, washing ourselves out inside. One day, me and Bibi were outside playing when Miss Roy drove up. She went inside and talked to our Gracie Aunt for a few minutes. Johnson and Bibi, Miss Roy said, I need you to come with me for a while. Your mother wants to see you. Me and Bibi ran to her car. The whole way we were jumping up and down in our seats. We're gonna see Mama, Bibi whispered. I smiled. Mama had come back to us, just like I knew she would. Miss Roy drove us to a tall building. You go right in there to the first room, she said when we got inside. I'll wait for you here. Mama looked different. She looked smaller and sad. I held tighter to Bibi's hand. Hi, Mama. Bibi leaned over and kissed Mama. Then she squeezed my hand, and I whispered, Hi, and kissed her too. I thought about the tire swing in our Gracie Aunt's yard. I thought about me and Bibi not even saying goodbye to our Gracie Aunt. Then I thought about all the nights me and Bibi didn't eat because we didn't have any food and we didn't know where Mama was. I wanted to go back to our Gracie Aunt. There was always something to eat at her house. Every night, she gave me a tuck-in. And even though we're big, some nights our Gracie Aunt let me and Bibi sit on her lap. Just the three of us, sitting quietly and hugging. Our Gracie Aunt said, everybody needs a little love sometimes. Even when a mama loves you, she can't always take care of you. Sometimes she has to go away, Mama said. I know, Bibi said. I know, I said. Even though I really didn't. We going home? Mama shook her head. Not right now, Johnson. But when we go home, it'll be for always. Your Aunt Gracie's going to take good care of you until I can. When is that going to be? Soon, Mama promised. I took my red truck out of my pocket and gave it to Mama. You keep it if you want to. Mama held it against her cheek and smiled. You all remember that I love you, okay? Will you remember that? Me and Bibi nodded. Our Gracie Aunt told us, I said, that you loved us and stuff. Gracie's a good person, Mama said. Bibi wiped her eyes. You're good too, Mama. Late in the afternoon, me and Bibi climbed out of Miss Roy's car. Our Gracie Aunt was standing on the porch, smiling. We ran as fast as we could up those stairs. Do you love us? I asked. Our Gracie Aunt nodded. Do you have to go away? Bibi wanted to know. She pulled us to her and held us tight. I don't have to go anywhere but here for now. You're our Gracie Aunt for always, right? Yes, I am, Johnson. I'm your Aunt Gracie for always. Aunt Gracie, I whispered. Then I said it a little louder. Aunt Gracie. And we hugged for a long, long time. I just want to tell you thank you so much for joining me in this reading of Our Gracie Aunt by Jaqueline Woodson. I highly recommend checking out some more books by this wonderful author. Thank you. And if you're one of my students, you're awesome for joining.